a crazy statement in 2021. 1976, you know, it's not good, but it's not crazy. Right? And he's born in 1930. You got to put the shit in historical perspective. You ever watch? I love old movies. You ever watch movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s? Yeah. Anytime a woman even has heightened emotion, there's some guy like, I gotta hold you. You know, what about all the horrible women in history? You can't just go after the men. That would be sexist. And this is what they don't want. You know? I mean, what about Coco Chanel? Great example. Coco Chanel, widely considered a feminist icon. She started her own purse factory, right? The 19-teens or 20s, whatever the hell she did. I can't imagine the sexism that she had to deal with, you know?
Right? And even then, that gap's going to fucking be a lot of drag.
While people are talking about eating fake pussies.
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that shit. I didn't. But if the kid was in the fucking building.
Before. Will you shut up? Jesus fucking Christ.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's
never will happen.
Because your stomach is pushing down her fucking neck.
Her face is tilted back like this on her forehead. Just
Yeah. It's like going down in an 8-foot pool down to the bottom and not clearing your ears. I feel bad for your wife.
You know what? Because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just
what
immediately noticing. I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to wipe.
You know what? Because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just immediately noticing. I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out.
Yeah, he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
The greatest thing about stand-up comedy is it's one of the, if you go to prison, it's hard to get a job, but, you can walk out of fucking yawning over here.
No, the mushrooms are fucking killing me, man.
I knew it wasn't just weed. I was just like, there's no way I'm taking a hit off of that. There's something going on here.
Mushrooms, baby. The shrooms. I'm shrooming.
How fucked up this is. He's shrooming and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today, like side saddle or some shit.
I'm going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do my whole career. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to.
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Did you guys see the picture of Donald watching his wife vote?
A lot of trust in that relationship.
A part of me dies every time I go into a store and I get coats. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
If I could work with anybody dead or alive, I'd want to work with.
I don't want to work. I want to be home.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do. I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. It's like, hey, everybody doesn't get to do this.
It seems as if the sun has never touched you.
Job interviews right as I get out of the car. You're hired. Go home. We'll see you tomorrow.
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill.
I don't get it till you have, and I was like, fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog, but it's more intense.
I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest, and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against a black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her four-wheelers.
Every time I see you, something great has happened to you.
Yeah.
In this case,
the Red Sox won the World Series.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm a Mets fan anyway, so you could rub it in if you like.
Nah, I don't do that. I don't go to the stadium, posing stadium, wear the other team's
Oh, you don't?
Stuff.
You
and
had
then
no Red
turn
Sox.
around and look at the crowd and do that. Whenever I see that, I'm just like, that guy should get the kicked out of him. And like, in a perfect world, that happens. I used to wear stuff, the opposing team stuff, because I moved away from Boston, but I just got sick of it. And it's not even being in the stands. It's when you go to the bathroom. That's the worst. Yeah. That's the worst. Yeah. Some guy knows. Yeah. You go out to the bathroom. They wait till you're doing your thing. And then they push in they take out their childhood on you, and you got this bullseye on your head, and it's just like, why am I doing? What am I, Steven Seagal? I'm gonna fight all these guys with my out. You made that movie, right? I think you made a movie like that. So I'm just like, I am a very courteous fan.
So if somebody said I had blood in my stool, they don't actually see blood; they see it's black. Oh, okay. So wow. Because you really came off like I was like. No, this happens a lot on podcasts. All of a sudden, I'm listening to a comedian like telling me how my liver works. I'm just like, wait a minute, who the fuck are you again? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so you're a nurse. All right.
Look around. Most people are weird looking. Look at me. I'm 100% white dude. I'm a weird looking dude. You know what I mean? The best dogs are mixed dogs. They're the chillest dogs. I'm telling you.
You're right.
They're all banging in the same pool. They're like a bunch of Dalmatians that can talk.
That's right.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people out.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house?
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house. And not have to deal.
Ignore them when they're right in the audience and you're playing to them.
You tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, believe me.
It's a comedy show. Trump's winning New Hampshire. Hillary's winning Virginia.
Really?
And there's a little kid here.
Yeah, somebody decided it was a good idea.
Somebody please take a photo of this Last Supper.
That's how you end it.
There we go, right there. It's all mine. There we go. Where's the camera? Right there. You see that? Right? The dollar's crashing. Shit keeps you up at night. You're just thinking, what am I doing when the zombies come? Right? Start reading up on shit. Get some powdered food. Plant some zucchini. Get a windmill. Right? And that's all well and good. But if you don't know how to fight, all you're doing is gathering supplies for the toughest guy in the block. Right? Thinking about that. What am I going to do? Some dude turn. So I'm like laughing my ass off. I'm like, dude, look, I just want to shoot the guy. I don't have to do a bunch of drywall work, you know? Reframe my diploma. Get my parakeet another friend, you know? I just want to shoot the guy. So I'm like, how about one of these pistols? So he does like that classic, like that redneck trailing off thing. Like, you want a pistol? Go ahead, get a pistol. What do I know? I just been here 20 years. You know? Get a shiny one, right? So I was like, what's wrong with getting a pistol? Run around the house and assemble it. There's some dudes chasing me with an axe. You know, even thinking this thing through, sweetheart. Just running around. Where's the scope? It's in the living room. He's in the living room. Now, we're getting this thing. I want that fucking thing loaded right on the bedroom wall. Right there. I'll put that thing on my jam sleeves. Just like that. No other point. That's funny though when you talk about getting a gun, you know? People like they either totally forward or complete. Go! No, I'm telling you. I don't buy into any of that shit. Stats are so fucking stupid. You know? Not that they're stupid, it's the way people apply them. You already have your mind made up, and then you go to I'mRight.com, and you start memorizing a bunch of shit, and just throw it up at people. This guy tried to get me to go scuba diving. I go, I'm not going. I don't want to get eaten by a shark. He's like, well, actually, 90% of shark attacks actually happen in shallow water. It's like, no shit.
Pull-up doll from 30 years ago. And that's what scares me. Because everything gets better, right? You look at when cars first came out, the stupid horn, you had a crank started, you'd run over your best friend. Now you can start one up with a remote control from like 50 yards away, right? Remember when airbags first came out? They just had one for the driver. My family! Oh my God! Oh my God! Compete with that. Belonging in 90 minutes, even on your birthday. By the third trip to the fridge, she's gonna be like, yeah, fucking get it yourself. What am I, your slave? Go to yourself. And after you've been with one of these robots, like sex dolls, you're not gonna be able to go back to a real woman, right? With all her hopes and dreams and her needs. You're gonna be coming home, so you're like, what is going on with you? We're not connecting, we need a date night. All you'll be thinking is like, how do I shut this fucking thing off? What is it, on nagging mode? Why isn't it blowing me right now? That thing will still be building them up, you know, just laying there like, I don't think you smell that bad. This is my favorite bridge. Yeah. And we're all gonna fucking die off. And what's gonna be left to fight these robots off is gonna be an entire generation of hipster spawn. Yeah. And they're gonna go to war ironically. Yeah. Dressed like, I don't know, fucking growing civil out, masturbating vigorously while holding a shrimp cocktail. I swear to God. I know that's fucked up, but I gotta tell you something. It's a little bit funny that she felt the need to use the adjective vigorously after she said he was masturbating. He was masturbating vigorously. I'm thinking in my head like, as opposed to what? As far as I know, there is only one open-ended, huh? Just straight across the fucking board? All of them? Every last fucking one of them? What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? Huh? How about you believe like 88% and that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? No, that's the world we're fucking. Oh my God! You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. To be a feminist. You can't do it. You're a man. Look, you can agree with it, you can empathize, sympathy, you can do all of that shit, but you can't be it any more than I can stand here and just be like, I'm a Black Panther! Fight the power! And then I walk out the door, a blue-eyed white dude, and I get to live that fucking life, right? I don't know, ladies. I don't buy it. Maybe you do, I don't. Anytime I hear a guy say I'm a male feminist, I always just think that is the most pathetic. That doesn't happen here in the jolly old England, right? Not at all. Everybody gets all dead silent. Big fucking elephant in the fucking room. Right? Yeah. How the fuck do you... What's that? Ask for consent. Ask for consent? Doesn't that take the move? Well, Jesus, that kind of took it in a weird way. Dude, whatever the fuck I was saying, however you heard it, that's not what the fuck I'm saying. All right?
Yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they change the world? Doesn't say. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Oh, get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office.
eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. Well, there's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys! Like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me! Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy! How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweat. Didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put in like a basket, it just poof, disappears. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. The fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones. We did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. Man. Oh, so I'm becoming totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process, of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white. That Dog the Bounty Hunter video, or the phone message he left, you know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like... Roadman, I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking, it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work, it comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it, roll the dice. Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, that's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak,
right? I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm like, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on... It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. When you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Sexist. It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then he goes, hey, I'm actually taking care of it. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. Then up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Navy SEAls and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Michelle said to bring him back. No, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, honestly, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife become the next. I sucked at sports and then I banged Tom Brady and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that? They do. Oh, they just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope.
You and I knew you wanted an egg.
Did you see my Adam Sandler interview?
Kevin Nealon. Dude, people told me that you fanned out so bad. This is how much I love you. This is how much I love Bert Kreischer. When you were like this, hang on a second. Hang on, Adam, hang on a second. I have a story I want to tell.
Dude, the Me Too movement has killed the blowjob. My wife will not suck my dick on her knees ever again. It never will happen.
Because your stomach is pushing down her fucking neck.
Her face is tilted back like this on her forehead. Just,
Yeah. It's like going down in an 8-foot pool down to the bottom and not clearing your ears. I feel bad for your wife.
What do you do?
We're doing it
I
tonight.
don't understand why they just can't word it like so you can understand it. They always word it where like no means yes. You okay, Bert? Or did I?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say we're doing.
I don't want to talk politics, dude. I fucking hate talking politics.
Hey, listen, you motherfucker! I've tried to say the same sentence 4 times. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ! And then when I gave you time, you're like, "What, Bert? We're not talking." I was going to do it again, and you cut me off again.
Well, just tell me to shut up.
what's a flaw that Nia has that you love?
My wife is physical.
Anything. She can't be without flaw.
Oh, no, yeah, her fucking, personality shit. You're gonna get me in trouble here.
How do you pronounce the word C-E-M-E-N-T?
C-E-M-E-N-T?
Yeah.
Cement. C-E-M-E-N-T?
Yeah.
Cement.
Cement.
Cement?
Cement.
Hey, let me tell you something. You keep talking wise, you're going to end up with a pair of cement shoes.
Cement
Oh, that's right. That's how they say it. Cement. I didn't know that.
I lived with 2 lesbians in New York, and I was fresh out of college. I didn't know anything about anything diverse. And
Can I watch you two get it on while I have my shirt off? What did I say? And then I come on your face? No? That's not cool? I paid half my rent. Technically, why am I paying half? If you bitches, you should be a third and a third. If I'm paying 50%, I gotta be able to see the two of you go down on each other. And then they flipped out.
I pronounce a lot of words wrong, but like I think it's I always say
Times. Is that a beer? I thought that was a Guinness you just poured.
No,
I was like, oh my God, I walked into a bit. What is that?
It's an iced coffee.
Dude, that would have been the greatest setup ever. And as I'm singing your praises, you just bust out a black and tan, whatever the hell that looked like.
For exactly $619,000 right there. You're right on the corner. You got coffee, coin laundry.
Well, that's amazing about LA.
Get inside! Take it inside! I don't have to look at that. English!
English!
O-N-I-O-N.
You got to go slower, dude. I'm too dumb. There was just a lot of O's in that. I didn't know where you were going. O-N-I?
O-N.
On it, Joe Rogan.
O-N-I.
Going O-N-I?
O-N.
On it, Joe Rogan.
O-N-I-O-N. You cut one and they make you
yeah. Now you're in my head because it seems so easy. Onion.
An onion. Onion.
I'm calling bullshit. You're just fucking with me.
No, it's A-N-A-H-N-I-O-N. So it's onion.
Onion.
Where did you get crazy?
Wait a minute. Hey, we got a paper lion. I think that's gonna be the part 2.
Yeah.
Dude, you are my favorite comedian. I love Paper Lion. Thank you.
Here's a good one, okay? How do you pronounce pronunciation? This is the proper
person. No, I think my wife, if it was like Asian chicks, my wife would be like, what's up with that? Like she'd want me to be looking at porn that looks like
she's
her.
a white supremacist porn person?
Yeah.
They really did own slaves.
The callback! Bam! That's how it works, people.
The 2 interviews are H3H3 and Theo Vaughn where everyone's like, did you see that interview? And by the way, knowing you, I don't see anything wrong with the interview.
I had a great time on the Theo Von thing. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, his reaction, that guy read, and they totally make a completely different interview that didn't even happen.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to tell me about that. That's all my interviews.
Yeah, so why would you watch that shit? I don't watch
it. I watch it, but I don't know, but that doesn't...
You know what, fuck you, Bert.
They're going to cut this up now.
Huh?
A roll.
No, I'm bald.
No.
I'm
But
going bald.
I know, but but you still had some stuff, residue of hair.
Residue?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had residue. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You could have done
I
a Chernobyl thing that you were doing. But yeah, but you didn't. You just understand it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Are we going right now?
No, we don't. There's no rules. But I'm just asking a question.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to answer.
I understand that. But why are you? Your head looks. Yeah. What? Is that the? That's fine. You're Bill Burr, but.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Yeah, go ahead. I just
process of you coming out of the gate shitting on me.
Yeah.
You know, when you start to lose your hair, you got three options.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
And there's subsets to all of them.
All right.
Okay, you can do the Rogaine, the hair plugs,
right.
a system. I love how you came at me aggressive, and now you're going. You got your little panda hands.
I was. I love how you attacked my little panda hand.
That's what you look like. You look like a little panda.
I know. I was just because when you took your hat off,
like a little adolescent bear.
I was actually texting with Bill when I was, I was going through my recent problems. You know
what? When you were coming blood?
No.
Gun in the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
No, when
he was, he started spewing blood a little.
Trouble, they call me Yanni Nets on the show because they.
Further. Let's get clear.
Kid moves fucking
I mean,
tickets.
the kid's fucking barely selling out bananas.
Yeah, I've almost I sold it out once and I haven't been since I put down the wig. I haven't been asked back.
I got asked to give money back to cops in San Francisco. That's how bad I did.
Oh, I got sent home. I got sent home. Punchline Sacramento. I just, hey, Bill, come on in the office.
I'm
like,
weekend.
ooh, they're really impressed with my new hour. They're like, yeah, Bill, Sunday. They're like, yeah, Bill, Sunday ain't happening. We're gonna send you home. How would you like to get on a plane right after your show? I got one of those.
Yes, yeah.
I got demoted from headliner down to feature act the first time I headlined at the Trop in fucking Vegas. The chick I was seeing, I flew her out to see me my big headline. Oh yeah. And the way you love a child and your idea what they are, I mean, give the guy a minute to fucking process it. Where it's just like, if I just met that, I just don't see how putting the guy in prison is going to, solve, he's going to go to jail and be like, oh, now I'm open-minded.
Now I got it.
Now I'm empathetic. I get it. There's something about coming in here and having to make a shank out of my toothbrush and try not to get raped in the ass that I now understand this.
We discovered that
It's the weirdest story anybody's ever said on the podcast. I get it. There's something about coming in here and having to make a shank out of my toothbrush and try not to get raped in the ass that I now understand this.
We discovered that
It's the weirdest story anybody's ever said on the podcast. That made me uncomfortable.
From the beginning too.
No, it's the serial killer tone of his complete lack of emotion.
Thank you. Can I tell you something?
This happened.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? And I know Bill.
Don't you miss out?
It did actually.
Were you frustrated that you knew you had no control over the love that you had for your wife? So then you were starting to feel trapped.
I think it was more of
like that.
I didn't know how to express how good I felt. So I thought
no.
Yeah.
No. He really just tried. He tried to play dim-witted there.
Yeah.
No,
See, that's the problem. I fell
cold,
for it.
Calculated.
Yeah.
You're everything you need to be to make in this business.
Yeah.
You just can't be creative and just be floating around oh, that tickles my artistic, calculated.
Yeah.
You're everything you need to be to make in this business.
Yeah.
You just can't be creative and just be floating around oh, that tickles my artistic fan.
There's an idea.
The chocolate one and then do the green one.
I
and
will.
Then you'll be fine.
I'm excited.
I will.
Yeah.
But you gotta not order.
I'm telling you, then you
I'm
just start.
excited for
If you
that
start
smoothie
eating well,
Next-
the fat has nowhere to hide. It just
Right,
doesn't. It
right.
just it's just over.
All right, you come back on this show, and I'm going to be skinny, and I'm going to call it the where I got a personal trainer, and she's like, I want you to eat high-fat ground beef, cheese, avocado. I was like, are you sure this is going to make me lose weight?
Yeah, that what, and then
It's
what?
It's like the no.
Yeah,
well,
you shit out of fucking.
I was like,
what's your block?
I was like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
no, like
what is
all
that?
of
That's
that-
the keto.
I think that what they do is a lot of those personal trainers. What they have is they have down to like a formula how to have you do like a Biggest Loser. That just goes too far.
Yeah, I think we all can understand.
Just take
that
a
that's,
handful of raw bacon and dunk it in butter juice and then suck that down. It's just like, all right, you sure everything was a lie that you were told? It's just like, all right, it's just like, this is either 100% right or I'm going to Jonestown. So that might, and I don't know anything about that diet, but I found what I've been doing has been working from you.
Okay,
so
I like
try
it.
it out.
It's
get
the
yourself a
being a
nutritionist.
healthy, reasonable human being diet.
Where it's like
balls
side
shriveling up.
Yeah, all that.
You can go between the legs a little easier that year.
Yeah, my balls
with the
are shriveled.
anxiety.
But it was just the way to communicate.
I
in my
love that
neighborhood.
you felt at Division III. I got to get on roids. I need a competitive edge here.
Yeah.
We got to beat LaSalle Academy next week.
Yeah.
When you can talk about, oh, can you believe this guy said that about someone on a podcast? And it just becomes like,
Yeah. My
Right,
rule
it's really-
became you guys don't have this luxury. You have to like have discipline and
What do you stick in your butt when you jerk off?
You
can't brush over that. Yeah, bad
scripts he didn't like.
People's dreams. People's dreams. I'm really fancy. I'm like a Sam Shepard play.
Do you take those little brass clips out of there before you do it, or is that an added Christmas bonus for you?
People's dreams. Yeah. A Sharpie pen, Jim Norton. A Sharpie pen. Like,
have you really?
Yeah, I tried it because I read a Playboy article about the. I thought that pen is the thing that got dirty, not me.
Cap on or cap off?
It was the end. That's why I picked it.
Shit,
I was
like an
well,
octopus afterwards.
I don't want that.
Where'd he go?
Squirting ink.
The cap is designed to be like a grappling hook. You wouldn't want to actually put that up there. Like
just hooks on.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you always learn. That's why
It's
you
like
got to
a
come out to
harpoon.
LA, Jim. You got to learn shit out here.
But
So, did you like it or did you not like it?
Well,
free food, free rent, and everything else, man. Here's the deal, man.
Is that from your show?
No, I'm just fascinated by that guy. That's about as free as it gets. I mean, he just doesn't care if his mother sees that or, I mean, he
Free is a good word.
He knows what he wants. Is that a bow in his hair or is that just some shit in the background?
I think that's the background.
Dude, he gave out his
Do you want
address.
free rent though? Like you can get free rent, you get free food.
The reason why he's alone is
he's a hot cum dumpster.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
like, doesn't he have enough pain in his life? He's got to be on this show too. You know what I mean? That wasn't like low hanging fruit. That was actually. If you did that in a movie, if that was the character, you would be nominated because that was an amazing performance. I actually, what I was kind of addicted to was his cake one.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a fancy,
I wanna
really
send you
fancy one.
Please,
You don't
it's
like
on
it.
me. You can fucking throw it. You try it out.
Is this how you handle your relationships when people? What I should have bitched about something bigger.
Yeah.
Fucking hate my car. You just sit there, let me get you a car.
Now you've been with your lovely wife for how long? How long you guys been together?
I don't know, like 14, 15 years.
It's fucking it's a good run.
I love her more than ever.
Oh, yeah, see,
She's the best.
I'm fucking happy.
She's the
he is.
best.
It's nice.
I know.
It's refreshing.
You know what's funny is they like if you switch their hair, they could be each other. They look just like each other.
Robert Kelly's and all that. They all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's
Yeah.
thick enough to be
Yeah.
that level of confidence.
Yeah, Robert Kelly's and all that. They all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's
Yeah.
thick enough to be
Yeah.
that level of confidence.
Yeah, well, when
it's
the
more
cha-
of a necklace.
When the chain's out,
Yeah,
I
he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
No,
Yeah.
I say guy when the chain's out.
Yeah, when the chain's out. Yeah, but he does make a good point. It's not really a chain. It's more of an ankle bracelet on a big
Well,
girl.
yeah, my kid's mom would.
I thought you start singing a song right there. That would have been perfect.
You think so?
The Louis Changed the World song.
I had this really bad habit from a lot of stuff, and it was like, oh god, like, that really
The
like
thing
woke
about
me up.
gay though, it's like it used to mean happy, and I was really happy, right?
Sure.
And you never heard them complain when it got hijacked. Like the really happy people didn't like protest. People like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah,
that word used to mean we're really enjoying our day. Well, you guys turn around
and brutal are those piano solos. For guys like you and me to sit, like when you see people in tuxedos, I was talking about on the podcast last week.
The whole thing.
All right.
It's like exercise. You got to do it every day. You release your resentments every night. I write out who I'm mad at and who I'm holding resentment towards on my little app.
How's it working
It's,
out?
it's going pretty well.
You are fucking wound tight. You are fucking. You know what? I never noticed. I don't think I hung out with you because we're always at the fucking store and we
You
talk
don't
for
know
like
this
10
about
minutes.
me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I would not want to make you mad.
No. Benton had to see it.
I have the inside scoop, and I think that that all people do that, including these so-called woke people.
Can I give you the prognosis of my asshole though first?
I would love to know about the prognosis of your asshole. I've heard enough election talk. Let's talk about your rectum.
So I mention it, right? And they go, we got to go to the doctor. I went over there today, and my doctor, Dr. Kawashiri, can I say his name?
Good.
Yeah. Maybe start.
Does he specialize in Asians?
I mean,
with a last name like that.
You know what's weird? He could. He could because
I go to my doctor, Dr. O'Houlihan. He specializes in cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah. Maybe I should switch it up.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get a black doctor or something.
Yeah.
It seems.
Could you be a little more woke and maybe
Yeah.
go to another race for your doctoring?
And
what did you do first?
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. I think I fucking
I just thought that was going to get a laugh.
No.
I thought it was a ridiculous question. Josh, you're going to break it. He just goes, oh, that's interesting.
No.
I thought that was
interesting. Because you.
I can't believe you're going to answer this.
A normal person would have taken the pants off first and then bent over.
Yeah.
But what you just said was, I did bend over first. And then took
this.
A normal person would have taken the pants off first and then bent over.
Yeah.
But what you just said was, I did bend over first and then took my pants off.
Wow. Right? Of course you did. That's so fucking weird. Oh, my gosh.
And I bent over, and there was that moment where the doctor goes, you know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
What are you doing? Right? And I go, I know how it works. This is the way I do it. Right? So I bent over. Then
I like it.
This is the way I do it. Right? So I bent over. Then
I like it. You made it weird back.
Yeah. I reversed it.
You took control of the weirdness. I like it. Now he's weirded out.
Right. And he goes,
what are you waiting for, big boy?
June, not one gay guy even fucking looked at me. Forget about even hit on me. I have never felt so old and undesirable in my life. Dude, I'm going to tell you something. It's this one thing as a man, when you get so old that women don't look at you anymore, like you know you're going to hit that age. You know that day's coming, but nobody tells you at some point you're going to get so old, not even a man wants to fuck you, right? Dude, that is a statement. When you get so old... So, anyway, she's fucking walking up the street. I'm coming down, right? And it's clear to me that if we keep walking the way we're walking, we're going to bump into each other. Now, I don't want to bump into a woman. I don't want to bump into anybody in New York. So I do the gentlemanly thing. I clock what's going on. So what I do is I just gradually shift over into my own lane. Now everything's fine, right? But then the weirdest thing happened. We walk like a... Huh? So I turn around to have this confrontation. And let me tell you something. She never looked back. And I'm not going to lie to you. That bugged me. That bugged me for like 3 days. 3 days, I'm just walking around New York, just fucking goddamn fucking bullshit. There's no fucking way you didn't do that on purpose. Who does that? Who drifts, you know? And I'm feeling this anger. It's just burning me up, and I know eventually it's going to settle in my chest. And then one more time, it's going to be, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do this to my daughter. I can't do this to my kids. So I started reading up on anger. Like how to let go of shit, I think is what I Googled. And I found empathy. If you have empathy for somebody, you put yourself in their shoes, you can just, figure out where they're coming from, where you're coming from, you can meet in the middle. So I said, all right, here we go. Let me put myself in her shoes. What would cause somebody to just have a stroke? Did she have Bell's palsy of her left side? Was she a mummy? Did she have a wooden leg? Was she one of those, those fucking diagonal walkers? You get behind them at the airport, they're walking too slow, you try to go around to the right, they start dragging their suitcase over there, you go over to the left, they're coming back this way, it's like they just got off a ship, and everything was just like, no, cut! Right? And I'm still mad. Still fucking mad. So I said, I don't give a shit. All right, so judging by most of your silence, I will do this math for you. Come on. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. All right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck that's like.
It's looking like a pretty good time to me. Dude, they're some of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Any idea you have, they support it. They're just like, yes, queen, yes, you're fierce, you can do it. Lesbians are up at the bar like a bunch of jaded cops. That's all fucking bullshit. What the fuck was I thinking? You hauling after 10 days, moving in? What the fuck was I thinking? She's crazy. No, I'm picks it up and takes it out to the curb at night and puts it in the trash can, right? My wife's hilarious, man. I love her, but she's got some of the worst excuses ever. I'm like, why don't you ever take out the trash? She goes, I would, I'm just afraid of coyotes. I'm afraid of the coyotes. It's like, so am I. So am I. They're rabid dogs. They hunt in packs of 2s and 3s. You don't do it because you don't want to do it. And I was just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense. All right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. Like, I sit on the fence and the whole thing makes sense to me. Whatever anybody's saying, like, don't tell me what to do. It's my body, my choice. That's right, man. She's right. Leave it the hell alone. All right, you're killing a baby. Well, I mean, there is that. If we're going to be honest, there's too many of us. It's been 130 degrees out. Animals are going extinct. There's plastic in the fucking ocean. We don't need any more fucking people. And especially, if you're honest with yourself, have you done anything great with your life? Is the person you're banging doing anything great? The answer to both of those questions is no. What are the odds you're going to...
I don't know. I'm good at this. I fuck up my personal life all the time now. I really do. I'm afraid to get married, man. Why man wouldn't be afraid to get married at this point? Look at Kobe. Look at the shit he's going through right now. Right? Guy's getting a divorce. His wife's going to get $70 million. Never hit a layup in her life. Can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods. I really do. I'm afraid to get married, man. Why man wouldn't be afraid to get married at this point? Look at Kobe. Look at the shit he's going through right now. Right? Guy's getting a divorce. His wife's going to get $70 million. Never hit a layup in her life. Can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods' wife, $250 million. She's a babysitter worth $250 million fucking dollars. Can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods' wife, $250 million. She's a babysitter worth $250 million fucking dollars. Somebody, go ahead. Somebody, explain, justify it. Justify it. What, he cheated on her? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. He cheated on her. Great, the relationship's over right then. Kobe cheated, right? Shouldn't that relationship been over right then? Why did she hand everybody had to wear for an entire month the most effeminate color they could possibly come up with? All my heroes are going down. Arnold Schwarzenegger, another great man. Another great man. Taken down by that gold-digging whore of a maid he's got. And I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit for doing what he did. It was a piece of shit move. But how come only he got chastised? What about the maid? Why was she called the maid? And then what happens? The smoke clears. Then all these trolls come out of the woodwork and start judging this great man. All these fatties, these fucking old guys who never got any with their jowls, coming on TV, absolutely reprehensible behavior. What kind of a public servant? His legacy is shrouded. Like they have any idea what it's like to be tempted at that level, right? Like they have groupies as they waddle out to their Mercury Tracer. Times what you need. I'm on my third attempt at Rosetta Stone Spanish, right? How can I judge these guys? I can barely handle the temptations of Facebook. I'm going to judge Tiger Woods. I golf. I don't walk off the 18th hole and there's a busload of Scandinavian women waiting to fuck my brains out. Sorry, ladies, gotta go home to the wife, right? No, it kills me. And there's no help out there for guys. There isn't. There's nothing out there to help you handle becoming rich and famous. There's nothing out there to help you handle becoming rich and famous. There's nothing to prepare you for that platoon of whores that's going to form on the horizon, right? Like Braveheart, faces painted, skirts on, will run down the hill, they'll jump on your dick in front of your wife. They don't give a shit. It's not even a handbook out there. I saw one article written about it on the cover of Time magazine. It said, why do so many rich, famous, and powerful men act like absolute pigs, right? And the article was actually written by a woman. That's like me writing a book, The Third Trimester, and What to Expect. Ladies, you're gonna feel a pressure. How the hell would I know? You don't want to hear that from me, right? Then why is this woman telling me what it's like to have a dick? That makes no sense. You have no idea what it's like to have a dick. 24/7. Do it, fuck it, do it. That's what it's saying. Do it. Yeah, do it. That's how we survived as a species. Every man in here is programmed to fuck 85% of the women in this room. Right? Yeah, we are. I'm sick of that shit. That's what the law says. 100 years ago, I could beat you with a fucking mop handle. I'd be like, well, that's what the law says. Doesn't make us right. No, it's unreal. And all this shit's going down, and we're not doing anything. What are we doing? Same old shit. Sitting around watching Shark Week, right? Watching shit about poisonous snakes half a world away, just filling your head up with all this useless information. What to do if you come face to face with a Bengal tiger? Don't look at it, don't look away. Slowly back up as you push your friend forward, right?
So evidently what happened was, in World War II, old Adolf came rolling into town, okay, with his tanks with the Porsche engines in them, took over the town in like fucking 90 minutes. She freaked out. She closes up her shop, right? Figured out where all the head Nazis were staying, what hotel. She moved in there, and she started a relationship with one of the Nazis. Yeah. She started fucking a Nazi. She was sucking the dick that did that. Now, just to refresh my memory, what did Sean Connery do again? Oh, you know, every once in a while you give him a little slap. That's what he did. She's sitting there like, hey, Adolf, what's going on? She so sold out her own country, she had to flee it at the end of the war. And I have no idea how many ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. You know, she's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. You know, her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out, you know. And she's a woman. And women know, push comes to shove. When you get your back against the wall, no matter how bad it gets, they always have the option of fucking learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think she made it. She's up there with Sean Connery. Every once in a while, they have a disagreement. He gets a little slap, you know? She doesn't care. Once you shit on a Nazi's chest, I mean, a little backhand's not going to freak you out. Jesus can't say anything. He got a hooker, right? Everybody's got a... yeah, there you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was a victim. She was a victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway. So, we're living in a fucking weird time. Obviously, beyond all the bullshit that's going on now. Like, every time I think feminism has kind of like... I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me. You know? It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know, for the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? And I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going fucking nuts like the guys do. In the upper deck with their big beard titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? You know this isn't going to end well. Did he say I'm pretty? Oh my God. Get out of the relationship. If every study says that you're smarter, okay, the question you should be asking yourself was, we're so goddamn smart, how are we in the situation we're in? Well,